So this is what we're going to do, right? We're going to talk about like the head he says about Edom, okay? Now afterwards the brother's going to pull up some images that I thought that would be good for everybody to see something. Now these images that I looked, they old 1390s, 13 somethings, 14 something images, right? And they come from Europe, okay? These images, as the brother brings them out, when I ask him to, I'll go into a little bit of it. But in the meantime, I'm going to get Genesis, the 25th chapter and the 21st verse. Ilazah. All right. Ilazah. Whenever you get the opportunity, get me Genesis, 25th chapter, and we'll start at the 21st verse, right? Because we're going to talk about this, right? This is a problem on earth, right? This is a headache for Israelites, right? Edom is a headache for Israelites. With all the black lives marching, and we still see the same thing. People are still getting killed, right? People are still dying, right? Knees are still being put on the necks. Right. People getting arrested just because. Brothers and sisters still getting profiled while driving black, while walking black, while walking brown and driving brown. It's still happening. You know what I'm saying? Apparently, the people those oppressors who fronted like they Black Lives Matter to them, and you still seeing them sing the same song along Black Lives Matters. But if Black lives really matter, then why they don't take the 3/5 of man out of the Constitution? And why they don't stop gentrifying the black neighborhood and the brown neighborhood? Right? Why they don't stop imprisoning brothers and sisters by the gazillions? If Black lives matter. Apparently it does not matter. You know what I'm saying? There's only one power in existence where black lives do matter, and that's the Most High power in Jesus Christ and Commanding General Yohana in the ISUPK. Everywhere else, black life does not matter. I know that my brothers and sisters might have some good intent, right? Might want to speak up of the injustices that's happening to us, but reality is you're still getting arrested and you're still getting shot. So all that effort, all the protests, it was damn near for naught. You know what I'm saying? And of course, every institution in the sports, right? Did you see them take a knee the other day? Baseball? Yeah, you didn't see it. You didn't see every teammate in that game that I saw. I didn't see the game, but I saw like the pictures of it. Well, both teams, the visiting and the home team, both take knees. You know what I'm saying? It's good business. It's good promotion. It's a good photo op. But brothers are still getting killed. You know what I'm saying? Children are still going missing. Why? Because there's a problem on earth. That problem comes in the form of a red devil by the name of Esau, who's the Edomites of the Bible, who are oppressors, who are the conquistadors, who's the white man. You got an issue, come on? What's going on? Speak to me.
Trying to get these pictures up. They're not coming up for some reason.
Okay, I'll tell you if you need to. I'll just tell you where to go where you can pick them up at then. Easy. Just open up a search, type in. Well, I'll tell you when.
I have them on the computer.
But you just can't bring them up here.
They won't come up in OBS.
You don't know
Never
why.
seen it.
All right. There's a secondary solution to this. Don't worry about it. So for now, Ilazah, read Genesis 25th chapter and start at the 21st verse, please.
Come. This is Genesis chapter 25, verse 21.
Now let me give a scenario before you continue. This is the last two nations that were built, that were made, or that were born on the earth, shall I say, right? You had the one Edomites and you had Jacob, who later became Israel, right? I say Jacob because that's who we come out of, from Isaac, from Abraham, right? So the last two nations, right? Now read.
Come. And Isaac entreated the Lord for his wife.
Because why? His wife was having issues in her womb. Why? Because she was barren. So the Lord opened up her womb. Now she was able to get pregnant, but here's the situation. There was a situation going on within her belly, and it said Isaac entreated the Lord for what?
For his wife.
Keep going.
Because she was barren. And the Lord was entreated of him.
Right. Go ahead.
And Rebekah, his wife, conceived.
There it is, right? So barren meaning she was unable to give birth to children. She couldn't come out pregnant, right? She was sterile, right? Is that the modern term? Right? She was sterile. But Isaac went and entreated of the Lord, right? Went where? To a man of the Lord. That's how you entreat of the Lord. You go to a man of the Lord and tell him the situation, and guess what happened? Now he get to tell you what the Lord said, right? So now the womb was open. Go ahead.
Come. Verse 22. And the children struggled together within her.
That's key. That's important. That's something that we all need to face. This reality. This problem that we have started there. Right? Read that line again.
Come. Verse 22. And the children struggled together within her.
You see that? From right there, the children are struggling together inside of Rebekah. It wasn't a situation where it was calm. It was a situation where there was some struggling, some fighting. Right? And if only the brothers and sisters that are in the church could see this, could see how this issue that we have with our presence started from there. Keep going.
Come. And she said, if it be so, why am I thus?
So she go and inquire of the Lord, right? Go to her husband, tell him, and boom, get the answers from the Lord. If it be so, why am I thus? Like she want to know, hey, why this happen? Why is all this movement in my stomach? What's going on here? Now here's what the Lord said.
And she went to inquire of the Lord.
Go ahead.
Verse 23. And the Lord said unto her, 2 nations are in thy womb.
Stop right there. That's important. It's saying 2 nations is in thy womb, right? What the word nation by definition means.
Races.
Right, races. 2 kinds of races. 2 kinds of race. You have the one race and you have the other race. Right? Keep going.
Come. And 2 manner of people shall
Stop right there. Now if you confuse 2 nations and don't understand it means race, Lord come back and says in 2 manner of what?
2 manner of people.
2 manner of people meaning 2 kinds of people. 2 different kind of people is in your womb. Go ahead.
Shall be separated.
Shall be what?
Shall be separated.
Shall be what?
Shall be separated.
So even from here, the Lord is telling us we to be separated, right? From that womb. Shall be separated from thy womb is what it's saying. Not come together in a rainbow coalition. Not join hand in hand like Martin Luther King and them. But separated. Keep going.
From thy bowels.
Uh-huh.
And the one people shall be stronger than the other people.
Right? And here's scientific proof, right? And here's something to bring out. Science proves that the Lord exists, right? Like General Hyman says, right? And just reading that statement right there shows that science proves that the Lord exists. He's saying the one people shall be stronger than the other, right? Clearly, as far as doing amazing physical feats, blacks and brown people have been doing it like something incredible, right? We do it the best. Music, right? Sports, right? Cooking. And on top of that, when there's problems, do not we endure with all the headaches? And we've been enduring this headache for the last 400 plus years in this oppressive state, right? We've been lynched, right? We've been lynched. We've been skinned. where shoes and purses were made out of our bodies, right? Our families have been burnt alive. Our families have been separated. We've been incarcerated. There have been chemical warfare against us, right? In the form of smallpox, in the form of crack, in the form of heroin, in the form of drugs, right? There have been guns in our neighborhoods, right? We've been kicked out of our homes, put in the streets with all our belongings, right? Yet here we are. We still enduring with all that. We go ahead.
If I could, I just wanted to add. Also, we've been broke forever, and if the other nation, if the Edomites were broke like we were, they would have killed themselves.
I was about you jump in the gun, but I was about to say that. What? But you are absolutely right. Had it been the other way around, they would have already committed massive suicide. Just look. All you gotta do is sometime when the stock market ain't doing great, go to Wall Street. You see a lot of them start flying because they lost all their millions. Like in their mind, they could never be broke. That all like we can have a gazillion dollars and lose it all, and yeah, we'll be bitter. Yeah, we'll be this and that, but we'll still linger. They can't see themselves as being poor like that. And guess what? The ones that are poor right now, you think they're having it easy in their mind? A lot of them are going crazy because they didn't look. Proof. Shut down the country for 3 months. How did they start acting? Where the Karens and cows are coming out of? Out of the woodwork, right? Protesting and complaining and crying and cursing us out and stalking us and doing all kinds of things. You don't have to believe me. You go on social media. There's episodes of cows, there's episodes of Karens all over the damn place. The Lord said the one people shall be stronger than what?
Than the other.
Than the other, right? So the one shall be stronger than the other. That's clearly talking. The strongest is clearly talking about the children of Israel. Clearly. And the weaker is clearly talking about Edom. Keep going.
And the elder shall serve the younger.
Now the first one that comes out that womb will serve the younger. And that's a prophecy that was said then. Back in the days of our forefather Isaac. Back in the days of our forefather Abraham. They're going to serve the younger. We the younger. Okay? Keep going.
Come. Verse 24. And when her days to be delivered were fulfilled,
go ahead.
Behold, there were twins in her womb.
See, so now, this is the struggle of two manner of people, two nations, and these two were twins. So yeah, let me make it clear. Black people are not related to Africans, but black people are more related to white people. The unfortunate part, but it is what it is.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? But nothing African in you Negroes or West Indians or Asian. You don't got an African bone in you. You don't got no kind of Hamite blood bone in you. That you ain't them. Get over it. It's reality. You know what I'm saying? I know our oppressors have taught us for a long time, even us Puerto Ricans, that you got part Indian, part African, part Spaniard in you. That's what they teach us in the Caribbean. You know what I'm saying? And that's all damn lie. You are what your father is. Straight up and down. You could be dark as hell, but if your daddy's white, guess what? You're a white boy in dark skin. You're just an Oreo cookie. You know what I'm saying? That's all you are. Alright? Is that it? And there were days to be fulfilled. Go ahead.
Verse 25. And the first came out red all over, like a hairy garment.
You gotta understand the mindset of the Lord to put that clue in the Bible. And the first came out red all over like a hairy garment. And I know in America they like to tag the redskin to our brothers, the Native American Indians. But I'm here to tell you, if you look up and close to a Native Indian, he don't look red. He might blush a little, you know what I'm saying? But he's more of a brown copper type of color. Straight up and down. There ain't nothing red about him. Now, There is a red man on the earth. He just looks pink, different shades of what they call pink today, because I don't think that word might have existed then. But this is red, as you see this book here is I'm pointing to. That's red, and it comes various shades of this color. All right, from light to a hot red. It said the first came out red. Another clue, all over like a hairy garment. Now, when we teach our people that the hairy people on the earth are who? The Caucasians. Some people be like, oh, but that ain't true, because they smooth. Listen, through generations and generations of intermingling with other people and Gillette and what's the other? Wilkinson saw blades, you can shave off the hairiness. Now they even got lasers to help them shave off their hairiness, right? But if you can't pull up that image, Kawan, right? You perhaps can go within that program and pull up open up a web browser and look up European wild men.
I can open it up, I just can't put it online.
You can't put it on that for some reason? All right.
I have to reboot the PC, I think.
I see. All right, see. All right, so this is what I gotta do now. I'm gonna do it on my phone, right? I'm gonna do it on my phone, and I'm gonna have to pull it up myself, and then pass it. Where's the camera? Right here. All right. Yeah, if you could. You get a few images, right? Now focus on when the scripture said, red all over like a hairy garment. I want everybody to focus on that. Right? Now, of course, they try to hide themselves and say this is all a myth, this is all lies, blah, 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 blah. Right? The reality is, it ain't a myth. The Edomites are hairy. That's just what it is. You get used to it. You just hairy people. Now here. Take a look at that. Take a look at it. Good. Put it right there in the camera. All right? All right? Let's give him a little minute. We'll bring it up. Yeah, you got it right there? Is it good?
Yeah, it's good.
Right there. So now you good. Leave it right there for a second. You see clearly to the right. If you bring it just a little bit closer, I want people to see. Just bring it a little bit closer to the camera. A little bit more closer. Go ahead, eyelids on. Just bring it more closer.
Nah, it's
Stop right there.
It's a lot.
Right there. Boom.
Leg.
Right. Right there's good enough. Right there's good enough. All right. Then you can back it away. Right. You can back it away right there. What I want them to see is the guy on the right. Isn't he not red and hairy?
Go.
Now let me give you another one. All right, this is an old picture also, very old. It's kind of like faint. If you can show it through there, great. All right. You see clearly on the left side, once again, red and hairy. Read that line again. In the first.
And the first came out red, all over like a hairy garment.
See. Now let's give me the phone again. Let me show you another one. Give me the phone, my phone. Pass it up to me. I'll show it to you. Give me another one. You people can just go ahead and look this up, right? So I'll put it sideways. Give him. This is another one. All right. We'll just show those three for now. All right. And the first came out red all over like a hairy garment. No, it's not a myth. When you go online, they try to say it's a myth. It is not a myth. the Edomites naturally are hairy. God is not lying. It's in the Bible. You can clearly see in the image the short man is trying to fight that big, tall, hairy Edomite. He hairy all over. You understand? Can you give me the phone? That's clear. By the way, the Bible did not lie. The Lord did not lie. He told you what it is. Right? He said what it is. Let me see if I can get one more nice good one. Oh, there's one I want y'all to see. And this image I'm gonna show you, prove ain't a lie. Give me a second. Right here. Right here. You might have to zoom in a little bit. Let me see if I put it sideways. Pass it to him just like this, sideways.
Okay.
Once upon a time, black people, now every black man was in Africa. As you can see in the image you're about to see right now, there were black people ruling Europe. And here it is, black people, as you can see, fighting Esau. Alright, wait till it shows up. This image, this is an old image. You can see the black folks there towards the right and the Edomites towards the left. And you clearly see all them Edomites are hairy. Right? And this is in Europe. That's Tuab. That's Tuab's, come on. Now for the rest, just go look it up. Alright? I want to send this one to y'all later on. So you can throw that up on the wall.
Wow.
Alright? And the first came out red all over like in hairy garments, what the scripture says. Is there any more? Go ahead.
And they called his name Esau.
How you say Esau? Ishar in Hebrew. What does it mean? Wasted away. Why is that? Because he had no pigmentation in his skin. He was red all over, like in hairy garments. Alright? That's what the scriptures say. And I just show you some image, clearly what the Lord has showed us in the scriptures about Esau. He's a hairy Neanderthal. Okay? Now, let's go to Job 30. Let's go to Job 30. We're going to read a little bit there. And then I'm going to read, I don't know if a lot of brothers know about this, but there's a declaration besides the one that they signed, the Constitution, what's it called? The Declaration of Independence. Right? There's a white man's Constitution. Did anybody know that? Besides the Constitution that you do know. And it's called just that, white man's Constitution. And I'm going to read it for you, brothers and sisters. I'm going to read a few lines so you can understand what's in the mind of these Edomites. All right? Read Job 30 and 30. What happened with him? Online, if you got questions, YouTube and Facebook, send them in. All right? Go ahead.
This is Job chapter 30, verse 30.
Right.
My skin is black upon me.
No, excuse me. Go to the first verse, if you don't mind.
This is Job chapter 30, verse 1. But now they that are younger than I have me in derision.
Have me in derision. They that are younger than I have me in derision, is what Job is saying. He's talking about a people. These people are called the Edomites. They have him in derision. Keep going.
Whose fathers I would have disdained to have sat with the dogs of my flock.
Right? So he's saying that he would not want these people to be not even near the dogs of his flock. Why is that? Because you know they be into bestiality too. Y'all didn't know that about Edomites? You better get used to it. Some Edomites out there do it to horses, they do it to donkeys, they do it to dogs. You know what I'm saying? All kinds of nastiness. Keep going.
Come on, verse 2. Yea, whereto might the strength of their hands profit me, in whom old age was perished.
Keep going.
Verse 3. For what and famine they were solitary, fleeing into the wilderness, in former time desolate and waste.
Because where is this place desolate and waste?
It's like, is it caves?
Yeah, exactly. It's a wasteland. It's desolate. Desolate of nutrients, desolate of everything you need as far as to survive. It's talking about them caves, Mount Seir, Caucasus Mountains. Keep going.
Verse 4. Who cut up mellows by the bushes, and juniper roots for their meat. Verse 5. They were driven forth from among men.
That's what happened. Why were they driven forth from among men? Go ahead.
They shouldn't be around men.
Why? That is true. Why?
Violence.
Exactly. For the same reason as today. You gotta understand, the world, the whole planet right now is not at ease because of the Edomites. That's why they put him up in them caves. That's why they put him away from everything. That's why the Lord gave them the mountains, right, the caves as their inheritance. If you could pull up that picture of this place called Petra, Petra. If you could pull it up and show the people, that's Mount Seir. You can't pull it up?
I can pull it up, I just can't show them.
Right, okay. That's an issue right there. But anyway, if y'all get an opportunity, go look up Petra. Okay? Go look up Petra. Petra. That's Mount Seir. From there, they went to Caucasus Mountains. Right? Because nobody wanted them around. Why? Because of the same reason, same things that are happening today. These people don't leave anybody. They're like marauders. They don't leave anybody alone. You know what I'm saying? They like a living and breathing disease, a virus. Keep going. That's why he's saying they were driven forth from among men because of their murderous ways, their terrorist ways. And you can clearly see it in carrying cows. Come on now. You don't see those videos how the brother might be trying just to deliver for us in a video. Brother worked for one of those delivery, apps. He did trying to deliver food, and Karen would not let him in the building he's supposed to deliver the food, even though he tells her clearly, I'm delivering for apartment such and such, right? And pushes the button and calls the person who owned the food, that ordered the food, and yet the Karen didn't want to let the brother in, giving him a hard time. You know what I'm saying? Meanwhile, they would come, if they deliver to us, we treat them kind. You know what I'm saying? I even seen Arabs treating them kind and giving them money and all this. But they don't treat nobody like that. Keep going.
Okay. It's the end of verse 5. They cried after them as after a thief.
They're like, get out of here, go, and they're shoving them up into the mountains. Go ahead.
Come, verse 6. To dwell in the cliffs of the valleys, in caves of the earth, and in rocks.
Don't that sound like Fred Flintstone? The Crudes, right? That's what for the animation called Crudes, right? Cave dwellers. Keep going.
Verse 7. Among the bushes, they brave.
What does it mean to brave? Let's look up the definition. All right. Come from the word brave, right? So they braid, meaning it says among the bushes they braid. You know what does that mean? Meaning they be like making loud sounds with their mouth, like oh, like a caveman does. The unga bunga. That's that. That's what it means. Right here it is. Right, it says this braid. Right, simple or past particle of braid, to make loud, unpleasant noise. All right. Keep going.
Under the nettles, they were gathered together. Verse 8. They were children of fools.
Children of fools, right? Remember the Lord said in Deuteronomy that there are no people. Children of fools. You know what I'm saying? And it's heavy that the Lord say that because we look at them as very highly intelligent people, right? How you can be highly intelligent and poison the water? The very water you know you got to drink. Poison the food. The very food you know you got to eat from, right? And the meats, right? Poison the air, the very air that you know you need to breathe, to get oxygen, to live. You got to be a stupid fool to do those things. And many others. Go ahead.
So pretty much Esau was, or they were the only Neanderthals.
Yeah.
So
that's them.
We weren't them. Like we weren't
No.
Neanderthals at all. Like, no other race.
It might have been okay. I want to say no other race is fine. Neanderthal, there might have been humans who weren't on that level like that in the creation time. That's why the Lord chose Adam to set a standard so that way everybody could live like a person. Because back then, what was people doing? Whatever crawled on the earth, right? They go eat it, right? Instead of riding the horse, they were eating the horse. You see that? The Lord made it where now you had to follow these rules. That's why He chose our Adam and put him over them, so that way He could teach them this is how to live. You understand? But with Esau's case, right, being that he was put into the mountain, just think Smeagol. You see the Lord of the Rings? Just think just the same way. You see how Smeagol walked on his forest? Like that. That's how they would. Don't believe me. Go look at those pictures. Later on, put European woodmen. You have some pictures of them walking on all fours. Very hairy, but some of them walking literally on all fours. Keep going.
Verse 8. They were children of fools. Yea, children of base men.
See, a base man meaning they're the low. That's what it means to be base, to be very low. They low down. Go ahead.
They were viler. They were viler.
Extremely disgusting. Go ahead.
Verse 9. And now I am their song. Yea, I am their byword.
Right, so now think about that. These people who come from the caves, right, who ate out of their grandparents' skulls, right, and whatever crawled in the crevices, that's what they would eat. They were hairy, they were smelly, they grunted, they walked on all fours, and now these very same people calling me a spick and you a nigger, and them a wetback. The very same people who's accusing us, just for being brown skinned and black skin. You know, well, not ain't nobody black skin, but you know, for technical teaching purposes, that is black and brown skin. You know what I'm saying? Or red skin, right? Like the way they call Gad and Reuben. You know? Keep going.
Verse 10, Salak said, if I could.
Go ahead.
It's a cartoon movie that my son always watched called The Good Dinosaur.
Yes. Yeah.
The little boy.
Yeah.
And I always be looking like, I wonder if that's how they were. Like, if that's how they walked around. I mean,
Just like, you see how the little kid walked? That's how they were doing.
That's how.
They had to get taught how to use a spoon and forks. The Israelites taught them how to do that.
Yeah. This is verse 10. They abhor me.
What does it mean, abhor? It's an action. Go ahead.
To just hate, like a treat.
Not hate.
Not hate, Salaki. To just to treat. Salaki.
To cause pain.
Okay.
To cause discomfort. Right? When the Lord told us not to abhor Edom, He told us not to hurt them. In other words, don't cause them no pain. Why? Because the Lord got first dibs on them. Right? And so that way it could be justified. We didn't touch you, you touched us. You caused us pain. You abhorred us. We didn't do it to you. So now it's a just punishment that they are going to get from the Lord. Go ahead.
They flee far from me
Uh-huh.
and spare not to spit in my face.
You see that? Does that not bring up with all the social medias? How many brothers, how many black and brown people you seen where Esau is spit in their face? Go ahead.
Like with doing like the whole civil rights thing. When blacks were trying to get into the school with them, when they would walk to the school, spit in their face.
There you go. I seen one like that a few days ago. It spit right in the dude's face. You know? Go ahead.
So, alright, so when the Most High say, don't abhor them, don't abhor Edom.
Don't do harm to them.
But it say, because they were your brother,
Right.
do we add the part of them because
Okay,
they were your brother?
Because if you consider, right, the twins, that's what make them our brothers, right? Even though they're a different race of people, right? The purpose was so that way it could be justified by them doing wrong to us, right? They was going to get punishment. Just like who else? Who else was brothers and the one got punished for doing something wrong to the other one?
Cain.
And who else? What was his brother's name? Abel, right? Right? There were sacrifices that were supposed to be given to the Lord, right? Abel did the right thing and gave the animals, the clean animal sacrifice. And Cain just didn't give a damn. He gave the Lord whatever. Right? Since Abel was doing the right thing and Cain was doing the wrong thing, he got so into his self, right? And killed his own brother, murdered him. Right? Without the one doing anything to him, just because he did the right thing, you're gonna go kill him. And it's so today in that how much trying to get the word right way to say it. How many times do we treat Esau with dignity and respect? All the time, right? All the time. Like you it's not the truth. The truth make you see these things. How many times you about to get boot kissed, and here comes some Israelite, whether it be male or female. No, don't do that, man. That's wrong. You shouldn't do that. And yet they force us to lay on the street so that way they can walk all over us and make us kiss their feet and use us as furniture and use our skins as clothing, right, and accessories. Use our babies as crock bait, crocodile bait, right? Alligator bait. But it's wrong for them to kiss our boots. We're evil because all we're telling them is to kiss our boots. Despite the fact of everything they did. Look what they did to the greatest black man that ever walked the face of the earth. He's an innocent black man. And they sent him to capital punishment. They sentenced him to capital punishment. Our King Yahushua did nothing wrong, didn't lay a hand on them.
Right.
Yet they sentenced him to capital punishment, just like a lot of us. That's why you see why they were told to go into the mountains, because you see, they just, like I said, viruses, natural living terrorists. All right? Now, I want to read this. You go hold there, just go from there to. So the next book you're going to get is Psalms. Right? You want to pull up a chair there, yeah. Pull that chair there so you can sit somewhere.
Because I just wanted to be last slide.
All right. So I'm going to read this right here real quick. And y'all can go look this up, but it's called the title is called White, not the Declaration of Independence. That's one document, right? That was signed by those, how many men, including Benjamin Franklin? Well, 42, whatever amount of men that they locked themselves up, blah, blah, blah. And today you have the Constitution, right? That the Declaration of Independence, right? That's why the 4th of July and all this extra stuff, right? But then, some white folks weren't having certain things because they were trying to associate themselves with being around black, or what they call nigger lovers, right? So what I had to do was go simplify that document so that way people could clearly understand. But I have both versions, the original version, but I went and had it simplified so that way I could read it to you so people could understand it better, right? So this is White Man's Declaration, the simplified version, right? In other words, layman terms, all right? White official public statement, document with such a statement of independence, believing that the Constitution of the United States thought about a government to be carried on by an educated people, believing that its people who helped write the Constitution did not expect / look ahead to the granting the right to vote right to vote of a having no knowledge population of African origin, talking about black people, and believing that those men of the state of North Carolina who joined in forming the union did not think about for their children or their grandchildren, etc., subjection to an inferior race, right? So they believe that they're going, like it's the same narrative that they say today. Oh, if we let them come in, sooner or later there won't be no white people in this country. Everybody be brown and blah blah blah, right? So that's what they were feeling then, all right? So then we continue. We, the people who signed an agreement, the people who signed an agreement, people who lawfully live in a country, state, etc., of the city of Wilmington and county of New Hanover, right? Is that's in North Carolina, right? Wilmington, North Carolina, right? And New Hanover. Do hereby declare that we will no longer be ruled and will never again be ruled by men of African origin. This condition we have in part lasted through and tolerated because we felt that the results of the war of breaking off from another country was such as to take away from us of the fair, in parentheses, serious thought / something to think about / respect of many of our other people who live in the same country. Okay? So they damn sure was trying to make sure that they don't become, subjugated to black people. All right? We believe that after more than 30 years, this is no longer the case. The standard we now promise ourselves is forced upon us to suddenly by a serious problem, and our eyes are open to the fact that we must act now or leave our children, grandchildren, etc., to a unavoidable, already decided future to submit. See that? So that's what they were fearing, that we're going to be inferior to the same thing they're saying today. The very same thing they're saying today. We therefore, believing that we represent definitely the feeling of the white people of the county and city, hereby for ourselves as representing them, right? Announce first that this is their declaration now. Announce first that the time has passed for the smart people who lawfully, this is in parentheses, who lawfully live in a county, state, etc., of the community, owing 90% of the property and paying taxes in like portions to be ruled by Negroes. In other words, they ain't having it. They pay their taxes, right? They feel like they're intelligent, right? They pay their taxes. They own 90% of the property, and they're not gonna have black people take away what they work so hard for. All right. Second, that we will not tolerate the actions of dishonest white men in associating with the Negroes. So that's the part about the nigger lover. They ain't gonna tolerate them either, right? Because they feel that all white people should be together and separated from the Negroes. Go ahead.
So is this showing like it sounds like it's showing like they're fear for always knowing that we're better, that we'll come up over top of them.
And losing everything. What they work so hard for. They work so hard. Okay, when I say they work so hard, meaning in their mind, they think they work so hard to get everything that they have into this country. They work so hard. But historically, and reality was, there was no working. There was murdering and terrorizing and tyranny against the natives and black people of this land. Till this day. Okay? But in their mind, we worked so hard to set up this country, so hard to acquire this land, so hard to set up businesses. We're not going to tolerate anybody that's going to take this away from you. Go ahead.
Kind of like this. It's so heavy, even like everything that you just brought out in Job. It when you think about how America was built. Like they broke every law
Right.
to create, to establish America. Violently, like raping, everything that they've done. Like, so how couldn't you think? It's that one scripture slide.
Shalom de México, Shalom a Efraín Gutiérrez de México. Good.
It's like that scripture that say, you know what I mean, if not him, then who? What is that slide?
Meaning the Lord was just trying to let us know. I know what scripture you're talking about. Let me think of it. Right? He's trying to point out, right, in Job 9:24, the earth is given into the hand of the wicked. Right? He changes the faces of the judges thereof. Right? What's going on? Y'all gotta do something about these visitors. Right? Somebody by the name of KMC Baltimore. Shalom. Shalom. Yahal Shema Al-Tabah Sham Yahashai. All right?
Shut them off, sir.
Yeah.
Because you just speak. Come, I won't come.
All right. So let me continue reading a little bit more of that declaration. This is heavy. Like, I didn't know this existed, to tell you, to be quite frank. I didn't know. But when I heard it, I read it, I was like, yo, it's incredible, right? Because they felt like the other constitution, when it said we the people, of course, they purposely put it that way so that way it won't seem like they're extremely racist. These people here, this white declaration, is showing you that they're racist. Right here. They're not holding back. Which I respect this more than that other one. Because at least I know what I'm dealing. You know, just don't act like you friendly and then you really are a murderer. Just show me you're a murderer. I will respect that. At least I know you stay away from me. I'll stay away from you. Simple as that. You know. Anyway, continue. Right. This is the third part. Right. Let me start from the top. Oh wait, can I finish? Okay, no. Let me continue with the second part. Let me start from there. That we will not tolerate the actions of dishonest white men in associating with the Negroes so that means of air votes they can rule the smart and money-saving element of the community. Once again, when they're saying the smart and money-saving element, is talking, they remember, they look at themselves like they've got more intellect than black people, right? And they know how to budget better than black people. And we're not gonna have the Negro rule over me, because I'm smart and you're not. Right? This way causing business to go bad from not moving, meaning stagnant. That's what they feel like. Because you'll have some Negroes around, we'll get no businesses, we'll get no business because it'll go stagnant. Meaning ain't nothing moving. It's going bad, right? And progress to be out of the question, right? But as we can see, white people, you know, that right there was because this country is running off of black and brown paper. You know, so obviously that fine. If they want, you know, like in my view, I understand. You want that, no problem. But in the rest of the Israelites in the world, they don't see this. They think that, like for instance, when America decided to open up again, how many black and brown people ran into our own restaurants and our own businesses? I see more people running into Walmart, Target, KFCs, McDonald's, and I know I can say this clearly because of what I do on my side hustle. You know what I'm saying? And there are very few times I go pick up in the Benjamin spot. You know what I'm saying? Very few times I'll go. I have not yet picked up at the Simeon spot. Right? As ill as that sounds. Anyway, third, that the Negro has showed, this is a parenthesis, showed or proved to be teasing and annoying our interest in every way, especially by his ballot. So even to go vote is a nuisance to white people. Right? That he is unable to do something of understanding, making real, or achieving. In other words, you Negroes are just too darn stupid to even breathe air the right way. That his interests are and should be identical with those of the community. Right? So instead of acting like the normal people of this community, you people are subhumans. Right? Fourth, that the progressive element in any community is the white population, and that the giving of nearly all the employment to Negro laborers has been against the best interests of this county and city. And it is a good reason why the city of Wilmington, with its natural advantages, has not become a city of at least 50,000 residents. So know where y'all standing whenever y'all go to Wilmington. Because they feel like that still to this day. Alright? That we propose in future to give white men a large part of unemployment up to now, right? So they propose to be giving white people, because up to now they've been giving it to black people, unemployment. So now they're proposing to give to white people employment, not unemployment, I mean employment. So instead of hiring black people, that they're doing by the ton, right, they rather give the employment to white people. Because we understand, we make real, we achieve that white families cannot grow and do well here unless there are more opportunities for the employment of the different members of said families. This is 6. That the white men expected to live in this community calmly and without fighting, to have and provide complete and total protection for their families. You know what that means, right? That part there. So being that they have to provide for their family, they will also want the right And if anybody comes to harm, for any reason, they want to kill you right on the spot. If they feel threatened, even if you're not threatening, and you black, and they feel you threatening, even though you're doing nothing wrong, you just probably walking the dog, right? Riding your bike, and they want to have that right to do whatever they want to do. All right. Let me see, a little bit more. They're like this, like about 7 parts, right? But there's more after that. I'll stop at 7, just for the time's sake, right? Okay, so it says, who will be safe from insult and injury from all people, whomever. We are prepared to treat the Negroes with just and serious thought, right? Something to think about, some respect, right? What does that mean? That in their mind, if they feel it is justified, I'm killing you, right? They're prepared to do this, right? So in their mind, they're gonna find what they've always done, right? They are probable cause, and you did it, right? And the jury of your peers will be the ones to judge you, right? Jury of your peers being all white folks in Wilmington.
Right.
Go ahead.
Right. So, but even if they feel like maybe it wasn't sufficient for them to kill you, they'll just go and pull up the record, and hopefully they can build it.
Just think about what's that brother name that was just jogging through that just so happened to peep inside that construction house? What was he doing? Jogging while black. So, but in the Edomites' mind, oh, you were a thief, so now they finding a justification in their mind. They find that it's a right thing that they killed him. What was the reason? Well, he looked like he was stealing. Now they're coming over here. Even my breath is getting. All right, so let me continue. All right. Okay, so it says that all matters which do not involve sacrifice of inches of the smart and progressive people, part of the community, but are equally prepared now and immediately to enforce what we know to be our rights. 7. That we have been in our desire for harmony and peace, blinded both to our best interests and our rights. An exciting part of something was reached when the Negro paper of this city published an article so disgusting and mean and untrue that it would, in most communities, have resulted in the murder by hanging by the neck of the editor. Okay, we insult murder by hanging the neck, and yet there is no punishment given by the courts good enough for this offense. We therefore owe it to the people of this community and of this city as a protection against such license in the future, that the paper known as the Record stop to be published and that its editor be kicked out from the community, from this community. We demand that he leave this. Okay, so that goes into. That's something I'm going to look for, what was said in that article. But I can imagine the same thing when these people are doing this and that to us and treating us like this. But the same narrative we've been here for the last 400, 500 plus years, right? Right? So now, there was another document I was trying to find, but I'm going to give you this. Summarizing what I read, I was just trying to get here, but I believe it was called Document of Destiny. Not quite too sure, but this document proves as to why in the mind of Esau, the Europeans, why when they were settling what is now the United States, they felt it was manifest destiny to do what they did. They felt like it was their God-given right to come out and slaughter everything and rape everything and pillage everything and do horrific acts on everyone that they saw in order to take this country. All right? Give me, Salakia. Give me I want to say, give me Obadiah. Give me Obadiah. All right. Give me Obadiah 10. I want to say it is. Let me see.
What you looking for, sir?
10. Obadiah 10. No, give me Ezekiel 35. We go there before we go to Obadiah. And if you could, if do you have it in the pocket for next to you? All right. Find it where it's talking about the Esau is the end of the world, Jacob is the beginning of the new. Obadiah, Ezekiel 35, and we're gonna start at. Start at verse 2. You start at verse 1. And then if we need to drop down, we'll drop down.
It's Ezekiel chapter 35, verse 1.
Uh-huh.
Moreover, the word of the Lord came unto me, saying, verse 2, Son of man, set thy face against Mount Seir.
See that? This is the Lord. This is the word of the Most High. He said, Son of man, set thy face against Mount Seir.